This new direction they're going with Nightwing is amazing. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here, and Happy New Year to everyone! I hope you all had an amazing 2021, and let's look forward to the many things going in 2022. Now, I know that the leap into the light of Nightwing has been out for some time, and I even have all the issues, but I just decided I felt better to save this as a good way to start off the new year. Because first off, Tom Taylor, the writer, and Bruno Redondo, the artist, you guys are doing amazing. This new direction of Nightwing is awesome. I did not see any of this coming. I couldn't even imagined it, but you guys pull it out of the hat. It just makes me look forward to what you guys have more coming for us. But before I go into that, I want to talk about the road of getting to that point. And when I say that, I talk about the road of how we lost Nightwing when he lost himself due to amnesia, the Rick Grayson saga. And I know some of y'all probably don't want to hear that, but I want to give you guys my thoughts on that as I make my way into my thoughts on this new direction that Tom Taylor has taken. So yes, Rick Grayson, yeah. When it first started, I went in there with an open mind, and the first issue that started off with him being Rick Grayson, not being Nightwing anymore, and then you had these local people of Bloodhaven's community taking up the mantle, I did find it interesting that it allowed me to stay on it, but would I say that I liked it? No, I was in a limbo. In other words, I kept going with it with an open mind, and as time went on, I saw they were kind of lagging on it, and it wasn't until they got into the part of the annual that showed what happened right after Grayson got shot by that KG Beast guy to find out that it was the Court of Owls who are partly responsible for altering Nightwing's memories is where things got more interesting. But unfortunately not interesting enough. And then there was the Joker War, which had some interesting spots there, but just still didn't have that high level of love that we used to have. But I think that was because, like everybody else, I just wanted Nightwing back. I couldn't believe they went with that direction with him. But all in the good times, all in patient good times came to an end when they finally brought him back. And after the Joker War and everything else that dealt with Dan Shergan's time, which don't get me wrong, Dan Shergans did some great things with what he was given, with the direction he was told, with what he was told to go with Nightwing, with the whole amnesia and all this other stuff. He had some good stuff and great ideas, just not as up to that level of potential as I think some of us were loving when we were missing Nightwing. All's the same though. When Jan Shergan's time came, here came Tom Taylor's run. And yes, I gotta tell you, the setup he's made for this first arc of this first 6-part saga of leaping into the light has been unbelievable. The setups have led to many possible directions that we still don't know yet, since after issue 83, which is where it stopped before the whole fear state thing happened, that I was like, I can only just imagine what directions are we going to go with this. This is unbelievable. Tom Taylor, all I gotta say is keep doing what you're doing. You're off on an amazing start with the setup of things you did here. And then you got Bruno Redondo. Dude, this guy's art is amazing. When he makes Nightwing fight, you see and how he draws it to where he does like an animation shot of him jumping from one place to another, or using his fighting moves in sequence with his sticks and all his kicks and everything. It's almost like we're watching action happen right there in that book as we're following all of his moves. And not just that, all the moves they show of him through. As a matter of fact, let me show you this cover here of 83. It's similar to this. It's not just when he's in action as Nightwing, it's when he does other stuff that even spreads throughout the building with him or some of these other characters. And I'm just like, this is unreal. I love this. This is some great art by Bruno Redondo, and all I gotta say is, man, you just keep it up. I love this. I just love what you're doing there. Oh, and he also did some parts in some issues where when he's using those weapons to like shoot some wires or tying them together, break into people's windows, which don't worry, we're all going to get into that. But all I'm saying is art's just amazing. All the details they do there, it's like watching a show, even though it's a comic book. But now, having said all that, let's finally go into the details of leaping into the light. And all I gotta say is, guys, Tom Taylor, I did not expect this from you. I mean, okay, yes. Now we know all about Grayson's relationship with Batman and Alfred. Those are pretty much his two fathers. Oh, now he had the more better relationship with Alfred than he had with Bruce as he was growing up. Now you could say it's evened out better, but still, it was always Alfred who had the better relationship to make him be able to be who he was, while also he still had some of what Bruce taught him, but he was able to take more of what Alfred taught him into better placements. And why do I say that? Because Alfred left behind a fortune for Dick Grayson. Yes, guys, Grayson is now a billionaire. He is a billionaire. Can you believe it? And after the Joker War, Bruce isn't a billionaire anymore. So now it's pretty much like, yes, the torch has been passed on from one billionaire of Bruce Wayne to now the next billionaire of Dick Grayson. I cannot believe that when I heard that. I was like, are you serious, man? This is crazy. But what some of the first things he did as being a billionaire, first off, he has now adopted a dog that he now names Nightwing and Haley. And the reason I say that is because I guess he's going to let that dog work with him on Nightwing cases as Nightwing, and then just be his dog as Haley whenever he's walking around being Dick Grayson, because now he's going to be a billionaire. You can believe he's got a lot of things coming for him. Like one of the things he first does really is, well, since he's just now doing it, he's acting like a normal person and just using his money normally at first. But it's funny how doing that and then coming into something that helps him know of a problem. And that's when he helps out a homeless man and his kid and a lot of homeless people. And then this is where it leads to him. First off, for a billionaire, he loses his wallet, and all I can say is that was funny. But it led into a great thing for him. As he was trying to find his wallet, it leads him to a homeless tennis shelter that is filled with nothing but kids. This makes him get an idea in his head on what he can do as a billionaire, and that's be what he's always had his life, a safety net. And by safety net, I mean whenever he was going to fall, there was people there to catch him. While here in Bloodhaven, no one has anyone to catch him because, yes, if any of y'all have already read this, you already know what I'm talking about. Bloodhaven is pretty much like Gotham, if not worser than Gotham in a sense. It's run by criminals, corruption is just high, and it just makes you wonder how can Nightwing fight for such a city that's so awful? Because, well, first off, Barbara herself even mentions that. And that's also one of the other things I like about Tom Taylor. He brings in some old friendships, some old things we haven't really been able to look into for quite some time. One of them being Dick Grayson and Barbara's relationship. Yes, it's shown here throughout this entire 6-part that who's there to be there for him when he's in trouble or ever he needs an assisting hand. Barbara Gordon, aka Oracle. And yes, there's a possible rekindle of fire going on in there, and I've got no problems with that. I've always been a fan of Barbara and Dick Grayson's relationship. And yes, Starfire and Dick Grayson too. And then who say, who do I like more? That's up for another video or a discussion with people. If you ever want to talk about it, just leave your thoughts in the comment section down below for that. All's the same though, it wasn't just Barbara we were getting a reunion with. He's also having a reunion of a reminder of the bond he and Tim Drake have. Because let's be honest, when was the last time we have actually ever seen that? For me, when it comes to the comics, I haven't really seen them associate that much, not since pre-New 52 and when Bruce died and stuff. I'm pretty sure they did have some communications here and there in the new 52, and yeah, they did in DC Rebirth in some spots, but not to the level it's been like this. He's there helping his brother out. The brotherly relationship is being shown once again as Tim Drake helps out with his case and looking into what's going on when he is accused of murder, and he wants to find one of the kids who is hanging out in the homeless tent with those other kids, which all leads us into Nightwing meeting a new villain by the name of Heartless. Yes, guys, his name is Heartless, and he's the one who is actually behind the murder that Dick Grayson was accused of. But there's more to this Heartless guy than that. First off, this guy looks intimidating. It's just, you look at the page itself with this guy, and it's just like very scary, nightmarish like. And if you think that's something, why do you think they call him Heartless? Because he seems to have this habit of wanting to kill people by taking away their hearts. And if that's not crazy enough, he's also strong, possibly a meta-human. And even though he likes to take people's hearts, it seems he only targets adults and doesn't really target kids. But just because he doesn't target kids doesn't mean he doesn't like to scare kids. Because during his fight with Nightwing, when he saw he was losing his ground, he decided to make an escape plan by knowing that Nightwing would forget him to save those kids. He blows up the pier. But this leads into a beautiful moment of why Nightwing is doing the right thing by not giving up on Bloodhaven, despite all the craziness, the corruption, everything about that city. He still has faith that people aren't that heartless, that they would want to help kids. And that's where he ended up calling out for a mayday for some boats to come to the pier to rescue those kids. It took a while, but eventually those ships came here. And I don't know if some of you guys who have already read the Leaping into the Light volume of Tom Taylor's run on Nightwing, but if you did look closely attention to it, those ships are named after some of the previous writers who had recently took over the run of Nightwing, such as Shergan, Seeley, and many more. Yeah, I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but I did notice that. I just wanted to bring that up in my video. Now the fact that he did that, I'm pretty sure that's Tom Taylor's way of respecting them for all they've done and thanking them for their continuing their run on Nightwing. Because if there's one personal thing I want to keep going with Nightwing, is that he makes it to issue 100, if not go even further than issue 100 to 200 if possible. I know that's probably not gonna happen, but you never know. It possibly could happen, and I have no problems with that whatsoever. But still, the main goal right now is to continue the Nightwing run, and let's let it reissue 100, because that'll be a blast. I can't wait to see that. Now, having said all that, though, I gotta keep moving on here. And when I talk about the fact that, despite all the fact that in the end, yes, there were people out there to save those kids and give Nightwing know that Bloodhaven is worth fighting for, there was some things going on behind the scenes he didn't know, and that is in the fact that Bloodhaven has a new mayor because the old mayor was killed by his nemesis Blockbuster. And yes, and guys, you are in for a surprise when I say this new mayor, her name is Melinda Zuko, daughter of Tony Zuko. But here's the twist here. That was part of his first marriage, and he wasn't around during her 8th birthday. That he was really raised by the Maroney family here. Now, Dick Grayson hears about this after his night out with all the stuff that's been going on, and he wants to check in and learn more about this woman. Unfortunately, he gets caught, but here's the twist that comes running with Tom Taylor's another amazing run of not just introducing a new Billionaire in Grayson, a new enemy in Heartless, but now a familiar twist in family ties that we find out Melinda Zuko is actually Dick Grayson's sister. Yes, guys, I'm not joking. Grayson's sister. He has a long-lost half-sister. Oh my God, did anyone expect this when they first read that? Because I sure didn't expect that, and I was ready for the next issue to come, and then when we found this out, I was unbelievably amazed. We had a woman by the name of Melinda Lin. I hope I said that. That's Chinese, and my Chinese not that fluent, so I'm sorry on that. But we learned that she was in the custody of Tony Tony Zuko when she became 23. However, though, she did escape when they were at Haley's circus and was hiding, and Grayson's father, John, helped in making sure she stayed safe and away from Tony Zuko for some time. That's in the time she joined the circus and when her and John had a thing going on. A long enough thing that she got pregnant with him, but not long enough that while she was pregnant with him, Tony Zuko found her and took her back. And that's during that time that Melinda was born, along with Grayson being born sometime afterwards and stuff. And yes, eventually that she was able to escape and find though that John and Mary had now had Grayson and stuff. She didn't want to be a part of that. And eventually it all leads into stuff where eventually the brother and sister of Nightwing and Melinda finally meet up. And I gotta say, this is interesting when we find out Melinda is trying to take down the Bloodhaven's crime boss's Blockbuster from within, because that's what she's telling Grayson. And while he's not sure whether she's telling the truth or a good liar or not, it's nice to I can tell that Melinda's mother was telling the truth on that. So that makes me happy and can't wait to see what goes on further from there. But after everything that happened, this is where it led into Dick Grayson doing the detailed plan announcement of being Bloodhaven's safety net. He has decided. Well, first off, before I go into that, he went to a few people before going to Superman and talking about his plan. That Superman asked him to take care of his son since he's a good role model, which, let's face it, that's no surprise. Look what he did with Damian Wayne, Dick Grayson, so no surprise there. But after doing that, he makes his announcements of the Alfred Pennyworth Foundation, which is to help the homeless people find homes, being a start, but also to help Bloodhaven's community out more and make it safer. But he's working outside of the law enforcement system and doing it himself. This has left a big target on his back, though, so you better believe he's got a big target on his back. It's already been shown in the recent issue here, but it's even more crazier knowing that Heartless, who says he seems to have known Nightwing, that Nightwing made him who he is, and he's his first what, though? That's the crazy thing, because he said that while he was holding a can with a heart. Who is this guy? I don't know, but I am excited to see where this is going. Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo, keep this up. I love this direction. Just keep it going, because this has been one of the best books in 2021. In any case, though, that's all for me, guys, and I'll be back later on today sometime to do my review on the recent issue of Robin. Until then, if you enjoy my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos, and until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!